Can you pull up the TikTok President Trump negotiating, which, by the way, every sales leader should play this clip in front of their salespeople because there's so many lessons to be learned on how he's not this one, Rob. He's standing up top. He's standing and he's talking about, when it comes down to TikTok, the government owns 50%. Are you open? Do you know which clip I'm talking about?
No, let me look, though.
Yeah, there's a clip of him standing up, and they're asking him a question about this with TikTok, and he proposes that the U.S. government gets 50%, and he gets the, Ellison, and I think this is it. Let me see if this is the one. This is it, Rob. Audio, guys.
And I've met with owners of TikTok, the big owners. It's worthless.
This is it.
If it doesn't get a permit. It's not like, you can take the U.S. The whole thing is worthless. With a permit, it's worth like $1 trillion.
There you go, with a permit.
So what I'm thinking about saying to somebody is buy it and give half to the United States of America, half, and we'll give you the permit. And they'll have a great partner, the United States. And they'll have something that's actually more valuable because they have the ultimate partner, and the United States will make it very worthwhile for them in terms of the permits and everything else. But so think of it, you have an asset that has no value or has $1 trillion value. It all depends on whether or not the United States gives the permit. So what I'm saying is let the United States give the permit, and the United States should get half. Sounds reasonable. What do you think?
Sounds like a good deal to me, Mr. President.
Yeah, he can afford it too. And
so you see
who was he just talking to?
Ellison.
That was Larry Ellison right there.
You see this conversation that happens, right? And on the surface, what does it sound like? It sounds, it's the right negotiation.
Sounds good.
Sounds great. Sounds fantastic. The government owns half of it, and Ellison and Musk own the other half.
Oh, is that what he's saying? That the government would own half?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's government becomes a partner with you. So we own half, you own half. So what he's trying to say is, let's just say they buy it for $50 billion. Okay. I'm just making up a number. And then they take it to $1 trillion. Okay. So that's what? $950 billion. The government gets the 475, and whoever owns it gets the other 475. Wow. Splitting the...
When you say whoever owns it, do you mean the people of ByteDance?
Whoever in the U.S. that buys it, that he gives the permit to. It's almost like the year where, the U.S. government gave different media companies a license to... you remember this one here, where it was Fox, everybody was fighting for it, CNN, all these guys were like, I want one broadcasting license. But there is a concern. Tom, if you can give the history of that, and I'll give you what my concern is. Go for it.
So the licenses that that any media broadcaster have is issued by the FCC. And they have a whole set of things on carriage rules and what you can do and what you can say. Most people had no idea about it unless you were paying attention.
Keep going.
When George Carlin came out with the 7 words you can't say on television. Mm-hmm. Well, that was a rule that was made by the FCC. Yep. So the FCC said you can only do this, you can only do that, you only do this, you can do that. It also has publisher rules. And those publisher rules we heard because YouTube wanted nothing to do with being named a publisher because that would mean that they had to moderate content. So all those rules are out there. And so I guess what he's saying is this would be a permit or a set of rules be issued by the U.S. government, and they would also own. Also, the U.S. government owns all the spectrum, which is the radio waves. Everyone has a license for certain radio waves, and they auction those off every now and then, like they did for all the cell phone companies, for billions of dollars.
Right. So
billions of dollars.
So what this is sounding like is I'll give you a permit to be a social media company in the States.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a license.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, there's a concern for me with this. So who would you rather monitor everything you're messaging, DMing, talking, posting, linking on your phone? Would you rather have China monitor your stuff or the U.S. government? Of course, the U.S. government, for me, instead of China. I don't want no foreign person watching the stuff that we're doing here. But do you know how close it is? The difference between China, the U.S. government, or private. Do you know the how close those three are for me? It's here, China, here, U.S. government, here, private.
Yep.
Okay? It's not the distance between the U.S. government and private is this far.
And why would you say
I'll
that?
explain to you why. Because, okay, so if under Trump administration, they buy TikTok 50%. This isn't England. He's not going to be president for 40 years. He's only president 4 years. So what if in 4 years, new person that becomes president is a Barack Obama? What if in 4 years, somebody that becomes president is an AOC? What if in 4 years, somebody that becomes president is a Newsom? What if in 4 years, somebody that becomes president is whoever? And he replaces the side of the TikTok that is ran by somebody in the U.S. government to want to investigate what's going on. What are you going to say to him? You're going to say no? No, I'm very uncomfortable with a deal like that. I would much rather this be a deal in free market, in free enterprise. Let them go at it than having a U.S. government being involved. And again, remember how on Tuesday I said when you say U.S. government, what does that mean? I don't trust the U.S. government. I said, no, it's not that you don't trust the U.S. government. You don't trust the administration at the time that was representing the U.S. government, right? You may trust TikTok for the next 4 years if it's under Trump. I just don't trust who's coming after him. And whoever comes after him, that's the part where you got to sit there and say, what kind of regulation, what kind of authority, what kind of supervision, what kind of access are they going to have to see everything that you're doing? I'm good with that, Tom.
So close your eyes and imagine Gavin Newsom. Oh. And when I'm elected on day one, I will sign an executive order and we will get all this conservative hate speech swept off of Twitter on my desk on day one. Let me tell you, folks, that's how it does. Because I'm going to put Vincent Oshana on the FCC. He's going to be my guy, and we're going to take care of this crap. By the way, day one.
Oh, that would suck.
That's exactly right.
That would suck.
Once you give the government a button or a knob, they're going to turn it.
Of course.
And then what matters how it gets turned is who's in the chair. I don't want them to have a knob.
No. So think about what is the radio station that the government has? What is it? Is it VO?
PBS?
PBS?
Or VOA? Voice of America?
NPR. That's the one. I don't want no TikTok becoming NPR. No, by the way, if TikTok becomes NPR, we're out. Trust me, you're going to be sitting there saying, yeah, I'm good. I'm not even going to be thinking about TikTok. If the U.S. government, again, not because of Trump, because of who comes after Trump. It's very important to be thinking about that part, and I'm not comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with it.
Well, what did Ronald Reagan say? The 9 scariest words you'll ever want to hear is, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help.
Right.
Yeah, so when I was asking like who would be taking over ownership here, I was like, oh, so the government and then private. All right, so it sounds like it's going to be some sort of public-private partnership in this regard. But, when you said, all right, China's here, U.S. government is here, and private enterprise free market is over here. I'm in agreement with you on most of it. I would just maybe consider the following. I'm actually more fearful of my own U.S. government overreach, like what Tom said, overreaching, Big Brother, George Orwell, 1984, than I am of China. Because China, we know they have bad intentions. By the way, China is one of the least free societies in the world. I've told this story repeatedly. At the event, there's the Chinese firewall, and like if you try to Google anything in China, it just doesn't come up. If you're not familiar with what is allowed in China, do your research. Nothing. You're allowed to see, hear, learn what the Chinese CCP government will allow you to learn. So they don't have our best interests in line, but that's not like they're going to throw you in jail. It's not like they're going to hold you accountable. Yes, they will try to indoctrinate the youth. Yes, it is a major national security data, massive concern. But the U.S. government controlling algorithms, controlling social media, I think that would be a disaster. By the way, what has the U.S. government done efficient? Nothing. I mean, everyone talks about universal health care, having Medicare for all. It's the last thing I want the government doing.
Well, listen, validates the point. All I'm saying is I don't think I'm good with something like this taking place. Guys, if you're somebody that's a business person, an executive, somebody that wears French you wear, what do you call it?
Cufflinks,
and you wear nice shirts, nice suits. A lot of people have been asking about it. We finally have it. Last week you saw Vinny in D.C. dressed. When Vinny puts his 3-piece, money. When he looks like somebody running for office. We just got limited supply of these cufflinks with Valuetainment logo on it. You have a choice to go with the silver and black, or you have a choice to go with the silver and red with the Valuetainment logo on it. It's the set with the cufflinks as well as the, what do you call it? The tie bar that's on it as well, combined together with Future. You open it up, it says Future Looks Bright and Valuetainment logo on top of it. For those of you that wear suits and you wear quality shirts and you want some cufflinks, go add this to your collection. We may not do this continuously in the future, but it may be something you might want to add. And if more support is for this, we will consider adding more of these different types of things with cufflinks. So go to vtmerch.com, place your order. The first 50 that place the order get the coffee mug, Future Looks Bright, with the American flag and the 4547 stickers that we made, the limited edition stickers that we made that we'll send to you as well. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.